Hi, I'm Ed,
I'm Brad.
and we're here at Napton Music Notes, and April.
Celebrating Guitar Month.
Guitar Month in April. Right. So today we're just going to discuss a couple of things to think about when you're in the market for an electric guitar.
Guitars.
There are some great options here. We have some great brands that we deal with, and if you can see them all there on the wall. So there's a couple of different things to consider when you're purchasing an electric guitar.
Number one
Would be pickup selection. Sure.
Yeah, in a sense.
What are
Pickups like-
pickups?
Pickups are these.
They pick up the sound and transmit it through the cord to the amplifier. So
Another thing though with the electric guitars, which is something that people don't quite realize, is seeing as how it is a solid piece of wood for the most part, they can be a little bit heavier. So sometimes when kiddos come in just to pick up a guitar, they're like, oh, that's heavy, and guess what, it goes right back down. So that is one thing to consider when you're actually looking at it, because if you play out, the last thing you want is a brick around your shoulders for a 4-hour set, you know?
it's true.
Yes, it is, Ed.
So-
yes, it is.
Yes.
And then,
Heaviness. But so back to the pickup thing. There's a couple of different pickups, and they will produce different sounds. You have something which is called a single coil that Brad's pointing out there, and then you have something that is a double humbucker.
or a humbucker. That's a double humbucker when you have two of them.
Oh yeah, like this. It's double humbucker too.
Yes.
Yes.
But otherwise, you have guitars that have, sometimes they'll have two humbuckers or a humbucker and two single coils, sometimes all single coils, and like Ed was saying, it does produce different sounds. Single coils are kind of known for their more like, I guess, I don't know, twangy-ish kind of sound, if you will. You'll see a lot of single coils in blues bands and maybe some country bands.
Right.
They got a real crisp and clear sound. Your humbuckers are going to be a lot warmer, a lot deeper sound. So you'll see bands, a lot of your rock and roll bands and heavy metal bands, you know, will play guitars that have that kind of a setup just because it is a thicker sound than your single coils. But again, that's all up to personal preference and taste and everything. It also has a lot to do with maybe the amplifier that you're running the instrument into.
So when it comes to purchasing a guitar, whether it's electric or acoustic, in my estimation and purchasing, you go through a process, right? We all love pretty things. This is true, you know. So if it's shiny and sparkly and all that, we tend to gravitate towards something that's very attractive. But the main thing is being comfortable with an instrument, because the more comfortable you are with that instrument, the more prone you are to play it and play it often. Now there are some things to think about. One, your arm is coming over, so quite often, at least the electric guitar, because of the thinner body, is going to be much more comfortable. But there are a couple of differences. So brand to brand, model to model, the width of those necks, the depth of that neck, in other words, and then of course, the finish of the neck. Like on this one, you can see it just is plain wood. Basically, it has sort of a wood feel on the back, whereas something that I probably can't even reach.
Here you go.
Here we go. This has a fine finish on the back neck, or even this one here, you can see is a very high gloss finish, so it's going to feel different as you're playing. A couple of things to consider. So the process that I go through and suggest to customers when they're guitar shopping is go through this process. Number one, is it comfortable for you? Number two, does it have a tone that's pleasing to me? Because of all the things we talked about, it's going to have different tones. And then number three, is it pretty? So don't automatically run in and buy something just because it looks good. If you're not comfortable playing with it, it becomes a great wall decoration at some point instead of an instrument that helps you in your musical quest. So.
That's really kind of the baseline of your electrics. I mean, there are these these buttons and switches on here, which select the different pickups and you know, allow you to do different tones and volumes with different pickups. But again, that's the, you know, the reason that you should really, if you don't know what you're going after, especially in the electric guitar world, go into a shop and talk with people that know what they're talking about, because there is actually a lot that goes on these instruments. And like Ed was kind of pointing out, if you don't like how it sounds, you don't like how it feels, guess what? It's just going to sit there and collect dust all year long for you. So,
And they do, just before we get too far away, they do make electric guitars in smaller sizes. So if it's a child who's beginning, or even a very small person, you know, sometimes they make like a 3/4 size, much more comfortable. So also, those are some options. So
yeah.
thanks for tuning in today.
Come on in and check the stuff out.
If you have any questions, we're always here to help you 7 days a week. Thanks. Have a good guitar month.
Peace.